All right, good morning and welcome back to the Iron Trail Brotherhood channel. Today is build day on the trailer. So I got my ladder rack, got the tongue jack for the trailer, and I got the rear supports. Just got back from the hardware store, got some hardware that I needed, and getting ready to get started on putting it together. So here is the trailer backed up to the garage. I've got the front support held on with the clamp right now so I can mark it up and should get my hose marked that I need to drill. This is where I'm at so far, just getting started. I'll video record as much of this as I can. It's probably going to be a time lapse on a lot of it because it's just going to be me working away, and you don't want to hear me talk all that long. So I've got the front support held on with the clamp right now so I can mark it up. All right, so here's a general idea what these things are going to look like when they're completed. Now I'm probably going to have to trim these down quite a bit lower than what they are because of the tent. When it opens up, these are going to be sticking up too tall. So I'll probably do both sides, that way it looks uniform. But those are like that. When you stack your ladders on there, you got something to brace against to when you strap them down and not just sliding off the edge. All right, so we got all 4 or all 8 holes drilled for all 4 corner post sections. Just finishing up putting the bolts on the last one right now. Set the crossbars on just to kind of dry run, line everything up. Then we'll take it all back apart and a little touch-up paint. The holes we drilled, so hopefully keep them from rusting. Paint dry, and put it all back together. And I just need to get somebody to give me a hand to put the tent up on top of it and get it mounted up. This part of the project completed. And we just gotta get the rear support stands on. Those should be pretty easy. It's just 2 holes to drill for each one and attach it. Alright, so there's pretty much the completed product. Just got to put some screws, lock screws in these spots here to just lock everything in place after everything's bolted down and locked in place there. And then there's 2 that go in these center bars here. So hopefully that wasn't too boring to watch, too painful. I'll time lapse a lot of that, most of that work through, and it won't be quite as long as it actually took. Alright, so here is the finished product as far as the ladder racks and the tent goes. Got the hangers and all on. I had to cut about 3 inches off of these uprights here. They're not all exactly the same. Didn't measure it out. I just kind of eyeballed it and took the grinder with the cutoff wheel and went to town, cleaned it up with some sand and with the file and hit it with some tape or some paint. We'll put the plastic caps on. So it's not exact. Equal side to side. And I just kind of lined the one side up with this seam where these two cross pipes join. Because this pipe is 3 different pieces. Part of it's on this upright, comes over so far. Same thing this one, and this the middle pipe and joins them together. They don't have to be exact center. I'm not OCD like that, but it's not real bad off. After I get the support legs on the back of the trailer braces, I will open the tent up and set it up and get a shot of it all deployed and ready for camping. But we're just about there. Only thing to do now is to make a small template for the holes I need to drill for the rear support legs and bolt those on, and it'll be a done deal for now. I'll probably end up at some point mounting some lights on here. Not sure yet quite where those will get mounted or where I'll put those at. But the camping trailer's coming together. Coming along nice. I'm happy with it so far. All right, so here is the finished product for now. Eventually, I'm going to figure out how to put a storage box on the front of the trailer right there to store some straps and whatnot, and, you know, just whatever I need. Won't be a very big box. Here's the tent deployed. I do not have the rain fly on it, so the little pop outs that go above the windows aren't there. But I got it all opened up here. Pretty nice and roomy in there. You can sleep 2 full-size adults in there easy. All kinds of windows. It's got, there's, you can't see it. You can see that one fly hanging down on the other side of that's a screen on top. It's got 2 basically skylights, I guess you'd call them. There you go. You can get a wind blowing the flap a little bit so you can see a little bit. It's got plenty of windows in it, so you get plenty of airflow. So here's the rear stabilizers. So I was thinking I was going to have to weld them on, but when we were talking to my stepdad, we were able to actually drill the hose on the sides where the gap is between the steel and the decking boards. So that worked out pretty good. And the way these things work, this lever right here is your release. And they just pull down. Kind of hard to do one-handed. Well, this thing sits in a notch right there. You pull it down and it swings up and catches in that notch, and that's what locks it in place. There we go. Like that. And it does come with a steel rod you can stick in this hole if you're in a spot and you need to jack it up to get this deployed far enough to level the trailer. And you can basically, like an old car jack. Yeah, you get the point. So here it is. This is, for all intents and purposes right now, the finished product. I've got a small propane tank and a holder that I'm going to go get filled so I can take it with me next weekend. I'm probably going to figure out a way to mount that right here in this corner. All right. My screen on my side of the camera went black, so I'm hoping I had actually had the camera pointed in the right directions where I was trying to explain stuff so you can see what I was actually talking about. Anyways, if you made it this far, thanks for following along. I'm really satisfied so far. I really think I'm going to like this trailer, this camping setup. I think it's going to work out very well. I know my hair is probably all crazy. But anyway, thanks for following along. If you're a subscriber, thank you for the sub, for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, I hope that you'll consider subscribing and follow along the journeys I go on. God bless. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.